Good evening and welcome to ClausenWorld. I have a number of seeds that I need to continue to sow for the month of July. So let's get into the garden and let's get sowing. It is very windy today, so I hope you guys can hear me. I am going to be sowing some roselle and some ashwagandha in these two pots over here. The pot that has the Dusty Miller and the pot that has the violas and the nasturtiums in it. Since that's covering the soil, I think it will allow the soil to stay a little bit more moist to give these plants a bit of a chance to germinate and grow. It may be too late in the year to sow these, but I'm going to give them a try anyway. Now, I do see on the packet of the roselle, they actually gave more seeds because they said this has low germination. So on these seeds, I'm going to sow more than I would normally sow. So I am just going to put on a glove and just start planting. Okay, I think I'm gonna put the roselle in this pot over here. I've got to move some things around, and I hope I'm not in you all's way. But I am going to look down. Let me put my reading glasses on. Hope I didn't make too much of a noise with my microphone. I always manage to stick my reading glasses in my shirt so that I don't lose them, because that does happen to me. I'll put them down and forget where I put them. All right, I'm just moving some soil out of the way. I do apologize. I know you guys can't see that, so I hope that you can see more of the pot and less of my back. I'm going to try to move out of the way. I'm just going to open up this packet of seeds, and I'll show you what they look like. Just in case you're not aware of what a roselle seed looks like, that's what they look like. And I'm just going to place this handful of seeds. I feel like Jack and the Beanstalk. I'm going to place this handful of seeds in the soil in the hopes that I get, and I just dropped one on the ground. So I may have a roselle seed that pops up in my lavender, or actually, let's see, is this it? Nope, I found it. Oh my goodness. What a day, you guys. I'm just going to place these in here like that. And then I'm going to cover that soil up, or cover those seeds up with the soil that I pushed back. And I'm just going to firm it in. And then I'm going to water that in to make sure that that soil is nice and moist. Now, this planter did get water. What's today? It did get water yesterday. But I'm going to make sure that those seeds get watered in. So that is the roselle. And I'm also going to plant this ashwagandha, and I'm going to put the ashwagandha in this pot right here. So I really hope you guys actually saw me actually drop those seeds in that first pot versus my back being to you all. I know how annoying that can be. So I am going to look in this pot and see where I can put these seeds, trying to put them near the drip emitter. There we go. I just made a little bit of a hole by moving some soil out of the way, opened up the packet, and I'm gonna dump some of these out. I'm not gonna dump as many of these out because it didn't say anything about the germination rate of these. And I'm gonna put just a few of those ashwagandha seeds in this pot. All right, and I'm just going to drop them in there like that, in that little reservoir that I created with the soil. And I'm just going to backfill it with that soil, and I am going to press down with my hand and firm it in. Now also what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that these leaves from these other plants cover that soil up, to make sure that that soil is going to stay nice and moist. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I hope you guys see more than just my back. Just making sure that that plant is covering the soil so that the soil stays moist and it gives those seeds a chance to germinate. So that is my ashwagandha and my roselle. And I want to show you guys something right here. This plant right here. Let's move this bucket out of the way. There we go. I'm going to move these violas up because they're so pretty and I don't want them to get squashed by that bucket. Let's see. I know that you guys probably can't see what I'm doing. I hope you can. But what I'm doing is I'm just trying to move. I was just trying to move this plant right here and get those flower blooms more up in the pot instead of growing down along the side. But what I want to show you all, now let me move the camera a little bit so you guys can see, is this beautiful little baby right here. This little hibiscus. I found this a few weeks ago at Walmart. Let me see if I can zoom in so you guys can see it. I was at Walmart and this was on the clearance rack. And I have not seen it bloom yet, but you guys are witness. It has a bloom, a flower about ready to bloom up, about ready to open. And I'm so excited. I bought a couple of these, one for my assistant, one for myself, and one for my sister. And this, it just said hibiscus, so I don't know what type of hibiscus this is. It is different from the hibiscus that I showed you guys in previous videos. So I have a hibiscus and I'm so excited to have more than one in the garden. I want to be able to harvest the flowers and make tea. All right, I have more seeds to sow, so let's get into that sowing before we lose this light. I wanted to show you guys something. I have been watching a number of YouTube videos lately in the month of June when I took my hiatus, and so many people are like, oh, I don't like bugs, I don't like creepy crawlies in the garden, spiders, ooh. Well, this spider has made a home in my fruit patch, and I've left him alone. His web is on my tomato that found its way into the garden all by itself. It just reseeded from somewhere. There was not a tomato in that pot, but maybe the seed was in the soil. But it's in between the tomato and I do believe my passion flower vine. And I just wanted to show you guys that there is life in the garden outside of just you and birds. So be mindful. They're beneficial. They're ugly and scary, but they're definitely beneficial. So if you can, leave them be. Just stay away from them so they don't bite you. But yeah, leave it. In this pot, I'm going to sow 2 different types of carrots. I'm going to sow some Danvers. Is that what this is? I took my reading glasses off. Where are they? I'm going to sow some Danvers carrots, and I'm going to sow some kaleidoscope carrots. Now, of course, they do germinate at different times, but they will harvest around about the same time, between 75 and 80 days. Mosquitoes, here we go. Woo, I haven't been out here but 20 seconds. Okay, all right. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to water this soil. So I want to make sure this soil is moist before I sow these seeds. And I've already gone and sifted this soil so that there is no wood chip, there are no leaves. There's nothing in it that's going to obstruct the roots, the tap root of the carrot. So I'm just letting that water soak down into that soil. There's a lot of soil in this bucket, and I want to make sure that it is nice and moist. And of course that water will ferment. I'm going to put a little bit more, because I'm not going to water this pot for a while. There we go. So that's all the water I'm going to put in that pot. And I'm going to show you why I'm not going to water it after it soaks down and I sow my seeds. So I'm just waiting for that water to seep down into the soil. It may take a few moments. Making sure that I get the soil on the edges, moving that soil. And I did shake the pot so that the soil would settle, but looks like it's just kind of sitting dense. These mosquitoes, y'all. I'm gonna have to find where they are trying to lay their eggs, because I did go and put some mosquito bits around in areas where I had some sitting water, where it had rained a lot, and I put mosquito bits in that, so there must be another water source somewhere that I missed where there are mosquitoes trying to hatch or hatching, because I got a couple mosquitoes out here. Not a lot, but a few. All right, that water is slowly sinking in. So I am going to cast my seeds. And what you should do is give your seeds room by using a grid and planting them one by one in the grid so they have room to grow. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play it by ear. I'm going to wing it. And I'm just going to put some in my hand. And I'm just going to spread them on the soil in hopes that this works out. Okay, let's see. I just took some Danvers, and I'll show you guys that again. Now these are old seeds, so I'm going to put a few extra, and I'm going to try to hurry up because the mosquitoes are attacking me, and I just came outside and I've sprayed myself, so that spray that I used isn't working. Okay, so I'm just loosely spreading on one side of the bucket these Danvers. Okay, so that's the Danvers. Now let me get the kaleidoscope and put that back in the bag so that I don't lose any of my carrot seeds. Now these carrot seeds are pretty old. Let's take a look. It says 2012. So I'm really hoping these seeds germinate. I do believe they will. I'm going to cross my fingers. Alright, so now we're going to pull out the kaleidoscope. And I'm going to put those in my hand and do the same thing I just did. Pour some in my hand and then cast them on the soil. Alright, now I'm going to put these back in the bag because I already dropped a rosella seed. I did find it, but I did drop it. I don't want to lose any seeds, so let me just close that bag up. I know you guys can't see it, but you don't need to see me closing up a bag. That's pretty simple stuff. Alright, so seeds in my hand, and I'm just going to lightly cast these seeds on the soil like so. Like so. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz this with water and put a plastic bag over it. The soil is already moist because you saw me pour water in it. I'm going to spritz these seeds just to get them a little bit moist, and then I'm going to put a plastic bag over this bucket to make like a little greenhouse, and I'm going to shove it over in the corner over there up under the umbrella so that it doesn't get full sun, and see if these will germinate for me. I have a little bottle, a spray bottle of water, and I'm just going to spray these seeds like so. Just lightly spray them. Get them moist like that. And I think that should do it. There we go. Now, I am going to get that plastic bag that I had over the moringa pot. And I left it outside so it looks a little manky. It's got a little hole in it. It may not fit. I may have to go get another one. No. It's got a little hole in it, and that's fine. Give it a little bit of air. But just to cover it up. Matter of fact, I'm going to move that hole down a little bit more, just like that. All right, so I've covered that. I hope my head wasn't in the way. Good heavens. So I covered that pot up, and I'm going to move it behind this moringa pot and give it a chance to get shaded up under all the plants that are sitting behind this moringa pot right here. And that way I'll keep an eye on it to see how these are germinating, and I will spritz those seeds to make sure that they stay moist. And the reason why I chose not to water them in is you do not want to push those little bitty seeds down too far into the soil. They won't germinate if you push them down too far into the soil, but the soil is nice and moist. So we'll see in a couple of days to a week if those seeds are germinating, and I will show you what it looks like when that time comes. Last but surely not least, I am going to plant this plantain in this basil pot, because this basil is not going to live in this pot forever. Once it gets to a much larger size, I'm going to harvest it and make some pesto out of it. So I'm going to use this pot to plant another plant. Now before I do that, I am going to water this soil to make sure that the soil is moist. This soil is wet. I watered it yesterday, but I just want to make sure that where I'm going to plant this is moist. So I'm going to open up this packet. Oh, these seeds are absolutely tiny. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to scratch the soil in because the seeds are very tiny. And I am going to pour a few of them out slowly. Wow, can you guys? The wind is blowing. You guys can't even really see how tiny those are. Look at that. Look how tiny. Air conditioning just came on, y'all, so I hope you guys can hear me. Look how tiny those seeds are. Wow. This might take a long time to grow, but we'll see. So I'm just going to place them right there. Just like so. And I am not going to cover that up with soil because those seeds are very, very tiny. Now I'm going to mist those in, but for right now, I'm going to take this soil that I moved out of the way. It's actually a little wood chip. And I'm going to cover those seeds up like that to make sure that they stay nice and moist. Just like that. And I'm going to tamp down to make sure they get coverage. And I'm hoping that this will grow for me. Those seeds are really, really tiny. And that's it for me today, everybody. The mosquitoes have moved away, but I am actually going to go and see if I can find a couple of those pots that may have some water in them and put some more mosquito bits down to make sure that the mosquitoes are not a constant problem in the garden. So until the next video, you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are. I hope you are safe, be blessed, and happy gardening. I don't know if you guys can actually see the frog. It's made its way out of its hidey hole, and it's over there by the trash cans. I don't know where it came from, but it's out. So excited. Like I mentioned earlier, there is life in the garden. Gotta love it.
Oh Lord!